Hi class, this is your video feedback for your first launch of your web design for your portfolio. And we're just going to go through this as like a first-time user so that we can find out whether it's functioning well. My first impression as someone just coming to your site. We'll see if pages are loading. Sometimes they'll load for you, but once you have them in your system, you don't realize that they're lagging for other people. So let's just jump right in, and we'll start with Jurgen. All right, so let's see. This is really nice. I like how this is working. Let's make sure that the video is loading properly, or that could be a real issue. You might want a still in this location. Maybe one that comes out to here would be nice. I'm not sure. Think about whether or not this background, because it's moving, it may actually be lagging your site behind. So I don't know if it's worth it. I'm not sure the geometrics actually feel as romantic as I think this should be. And I think you're going to want to put the title here, maybe somewhere else. All right, I'm not sure that it's working. It's overlapping the image, and I think it could be a little better placement. So let's see if I go to contact. Okay, this is lagging a little bit. Could be that the image is just taking time, because see, this is a little tough, right? So we want to make sure that we're not overlapping any kind of text with logos or anything else. But this is a great shot otherwise, so I would just bring this over or move it around a little bit, making sure you have plenty of padding. Let's see. This is beautiful if this is yours. If not, replace it with one that is yours. Let's put your date down here and your name. And you want to go to booking. Okay, so we seem to have two booking sections. Okay, so let's eliminate one. Okay, I think you could combine that. So you may need an about page and a video page, I think. You want to close up the space that you have between these. This could probably be larger. And have these align. Bring anything that has one word up. Edit if you have to. Okay, so I like this. If we book it, does it go to that? Okay. Can we, I wonder if we can combine that in some way. This particular logo isn't feeling like a wedding site at all for me. Okay, we need a little more, a little softer, I think, and a little cleaner, very current, because weddings are very, in the moment, they're very now. So whatever's going on at the time, it would need to kind of reflect that fresh feeling. And maybe this is a sans serif, and this, some other kind of lightweight image. If you put anything there at all, you could just bring everything up and bring this up a little, just close that space a little. Yeah, something that feels a little more feminine. This feels very masculine. I think something more feminine and lightweight would work here. All right, less meeting-like, more still in the wedding style. All right. Okay. All right, so this I think we should do away with. You definitely have, this should be smaller because it's breaking up on this particular, at this size. All right, so let's definitely make this a little smaller. and find another way to present those videos. Okay, these can actually be a little bit smaller too. These look great. Make sure that all of these have the same size like you do here. Okay, use a grid. And you don't have to put a lot of work. 6 is fine. Okay. Let's switch this up a little bit and bring the About Me up a little higher. Okay, so we get right into it. The quote can go down here or something. I know it's breaking into this and it's a style, but I think when we tell them this is the About page, we want to get into that information so they're not scrolling. Less scrolling, fewer clicks. That's what we want to give the user, all right? And that's for everybody. Make sure our text is the same, all our headers. That one doesn't have a header, or that one. This looks to be the same. Okay. Let's close that space up a little bit. Okay. This, you know, oftentimes we see periods here, but think about it when you want to use them or not, because many times, like on resumes, it's not an actual full sentence, and so it wouldn't require a period. Something for you to think about. Okay, so yeah, let's move this down and place instead the contact form. All right, but we don't need to say contact form because they know that this is a contact form. You can say whatever you want here. Contact me, Houston, Texas, bringing that down, whatever you want to do, but let's put the map below it. Okay, all right. And so, all right, great start. All right, this background, remember, nothing has changed here from the last set of feedback. We have to make sure that anything, our text is not overlapping other text. So if that means you have to bring the all videos down or just put a play here and remove this all videos, move this, we don't want it over any kind of visual. This is going to slow your site down unless that's a still. Right now I don't see it moving, so maybe you have solved that way. When the text is kind of dropped back, you can get away with this. I'm not sure it's dropped back enough to get away with this. You may have to consider just putting a play and having an instruction someplace else, or make this a different freeze frame. Okay. Yeah. Make sure that I would try to avoid anything with text, and it looks like this video is a little fuzzy, so it may not be the quality that you need at this size. You might not be able to do that. This is all right. We talked about this overlapping, and so this needs to come off. All right, go back and look at the previous feedback and make sure that that is implemented. Yeah, these are too large. I would make a page that has them in a grid because they're just too big. This works great. This works fabulous. In fact, that should be your home page if you're going to do something like this. This is how you would use that. This does not work. This overlapping text does not work. So be selective. This works. We want to be careful to clear her face, though, very well. If you have to move this over a little bit. But that's the thing. This is okay. That's not too bad. That's very good. This works nicely, except we're cutting this off. So that's okay, although we are right over her nose, and that can be distracting to people. Same thing here. We're right over her face, but we're not over her eye. That's helpful. All right. Okay, so just go through and look at the things that we talked about before, covering things up, especially remove this down here, and we need to see these changes right away. All right, thank you. Okay, Copper Rabbit, I love the logo. The colors, let's make this a line here and change this date here. Maybe align these two things here. Okay. Nice and clean. I like that. And it's all above the scroll. It works really well. This font with the drop shadow works well with that. And okay. All above. Let's make sure this one line is not by itself, that one word. Again, the one words. Be nice if those could be aligned. Not sure you need this here. We could probably get up into this a little quicker. I'll let you decide, but it kind of steals the thunder from the logo, I think. Okay, same thing with the single words here. Align that. And okay, let's align this up here. And again, the one single word. I want to see something here. This looks like it's a little heavier line than this, just a bit, okay? So if you're going to do that, be consistent. This works. Good, you have your videos in a grid. I hope everybody sees that. And good. So you're on brand. It's working well. And I like that. Okay. Good job. Not much you have to do from here on. Okay, let's see. Jasmine. Okay. It's getting better and better. Let's simplify our text. Remember, we've got too many here. We want to just have a header, and this is okay for your logo, a header and then a simple body font. Let's probably, I would reduce this down, put it over here to the left, and put this content to the right. Okay, we've talked about that a little bit, so let's do that. This should be the same font. Okay, let's just use this and this throughout. Okay, or this and this throughout. All right, this is nice and clean. This is great. This is cleaner too. We've got a different font here. I know you like to play with those different colors. Let's not do that because it's not really a style. It could be, but it isn't. In this case, it's not really working in that way. I think we want to align this left. And we want to change this color so it shows up. The silver isn't showing up as well. All right? But closer and closer. We don't have example of work. Well, we have it here. All right, so we do. I kind of want to see this space close up a little bit. You know, maybe bring this up here. I don't know if that means get 3 because you have 4. Might mean make these bigger, but that might not work. So it may mean putting these in a column like this and adding a descriptor over here and what your role was in some simple paragraph to the right. Okay, you can also go left, right with your columns. All right, good job. And this was your cell phone view. We'll look at that another time. Okay, this logo is a little difficult to read. I do like when we get to this part. A little small here. We're not really having a list, so we can take the colon off. This looks good. We're kind of changing colors here. Let's be consistent. I like this, but let's do it here too. All right. Okay. This works. This is nice. The grid is nice. Okay. Nice call to action. Let's see. Go here. That's good. This is a little in the middle, but not too bad. Okay, now we've changed fonts, and we don't want to do that. I know this is placeholder text, but we need to be very consistent throughout. The size of our text, the size of our headings, the font that we use. Let's not cover up faces, so you might want to make this a little smaller or cut it down or put it over, you know, someplace else, but you're covering up some important imagery. And I would say gear instead of equipment list, because equipment list is longer. Okay, see, we have a different font here. So select the font that you want to use and be consistent throughout. This really isn't working right here, I don't think. I think we're going to know these are your projects, so just take that off. All right. Okay, so mainly it's just cleaning up the text that I can see. The layout's good. All right, good job. Very fun. And you tell us exactly what you do. I love it. It's all above the scroll. Let's see. But where is your... You're going to need some navigation, even though it's a one-page scroll. Excuse me. You can close this up just a little. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Yep, you're going to need navigation, all right? Otherwise, you're really onto a great track there. Maybe some examples of social media marketing a little more. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Might want to drop this imagery back a little bit, a little more, not quite so sharp, so that this doesn't compete as much. And okay, our team, we're going to need to get up like this, because if we keep the same image, our user doesn't realize that they wonder if we've changed pages. And so we're saying this is our resources, is our team. Then let's get into that. All right, let's work on the framing that you have here, so it takes up the whole space like the others do. Just the right amount of content. Looks like a different logo here. Let's change this date here. So let's be consistent with that part. So the gallery goes to, yeah, we need to work with that and find out what we're doing here about the gallery and our team. Okay. About us. And this looks nice. This, not sure about there. Yeah. So that needs to be loading quicker. I'm not sure it works with the background. So think about that. It's not loading very quickly. Okay, if you want to put the logo back here, that might work. Okay, that might be better to put this logo back here. And again, I'm not sure what this logo has to do with the other. Okay? All right, good job. All right, so I might make these a little bigger, especially when you go online, and align it with this box. It's just under. This works. I like that. Okay, that's a little big, and we've got a couple of different fonts. So let's simplify your fonts. Let's bring this over to the left, and you can just put your message here instead of type your message, because they will know. And I would make this a little bit smaller and bring your bio up to here, okay? If you're going to be on a color that is not high contrast, you might consider putting a rule or something. Nothing too bright. A very, very fine rule that maybe is, you know, a gray or something. Nice. That works. Okay. Let's not change our background, and we already have this, so you might not need this page. Okay. I know you say I would just put it on the front. I would remove the marble background. It isn't fitting with your brand at this time. And I would take this off. Okay, definitely disable that. All right. And probably take the book online. Okay, that might work for you. I would add a third. All right. All right, Hannah. Nice, clean. Starts to get a little hard to read. Probably this white on the pink. Might need to consider a higher contrast there. Maybe just a little deeper blue, but the white is a little bit of a problem. Might be able to put a slight drop shadow in it, not interrupt it. Okay. Okay, just a little tough to read. Might just need a very slight drop shadow. But it starts to get, the high contrast isn't there. But the functionality, except for the contact page, that needs to be linked up. And again, put message. Okay, you don't have to ask them to type. This is italicized. So is that, so is that. All right, good job. Maria, you might want to make this a little bigger, your name a little bigger up there. You can move this up here, and then you would be getting into that a little quicker with your navigation up here. Try bringing this around to left alignment. This is a different font from this, so you want to be consistent. Probably a sans serif here, but otherwise pretty good. I would bring this over here and probably give it another word or two if you can create one so that you're left aligned. All right. You may even want, since you don't have a lot of these, you may want to bring that up and just have your descriptors underneath it. And if these are not your photos, which I think they're not, you're going to want to create some that are, especially if you're a photographer. That's what people will expect for your images to be there. Okay, that's laid out nicely. A little bit of space there, but nice. Okay, and you have your drop-down menu is not covering up content. I like that. Okay. This gets a little busy. Okay. Again, I think your header should be what you had before. Okay, this is great. Use that header here with your other font. We'll match this. Left align that. It's a great photo. Left align. Be consistent with your fonts. Okay, and the colors. All right, let's see, contact. All right, let's move your contact. Okay. All right, if you wanted to have a form, you could put it above and then push this down a little bit and move this to the left. All right, good job. Okay. This doesn't need to be in quotes if you're saying this. Okay. This is working. Oftentimes the parallax scrolling doesn't work because of the images that are selected. This looks like you're clearing here and setting it purposely on top of this letter, and this one isn't. So I think I would bring this either down a little bit, just a little, the way you have it here, so it looks intentional. But the colors and things are working, and this works over here. I like your all caps. The white is reading well on both the black and the gray. This is coming up rather slow, so I'm not sure you need it. This it's kind of floating by itself. Making sure that everything is aligned. Okay. All right. You might want to take out just a little space there. Just a little. That's great, great, and great. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure these headers are working for you, to tell you the truth. Something simpler that doesn't interfere with your logos and things, and the navigation, I think. Okay, this one isn't as bad. It is very creepy, scary, so I hope that's what you want. When you use this color green, that's what happens. So, you know, that may be what you're looking for. This is okay, but again, it's not really optimized. It's not coming up quick enough. All right, so think about that. But good job, you've got a good layout. Okay. Oh, let's see. Okay. Let's pull this word up. This is larger than this, but this is kind of a subtitle, so it should probably be reversed. And as you have it here, okay. Probably would make this 2 lines. See if you can do that. Maybe you can't. I feel like it should be closer, as this one is. Let's bring that in, bring this up a little bit. Align this. This is a different font. So, yeah, be consistent with your fonts here. As far as weight, type, size, everything. All right? That's really important. Okay. So you just have a little bit of cleanup. This isn't working quite right. Doesn't look like it should be breaking there. So maybe bring this down and to where it's more at the bottom, maybe. Your headers are not the same. It looks like they're not the same. All right. So a few things to make it more consistent, and you're there. Jen. Okay, I read this. A little space is needed. We're right here. Very fresh, and your scrolling works. This is a case where the parallax is actually working. Might want to close this gap just a little, maybe. Not necessarily, it's not bad. Let's, even on our thumbnails, we don't want to crop things if we can help it. This is okay because it looks intentional, but just be mindful of this if that's the best one. Okay. Okay. It doesn't bother me that these are staggered, but you might want to consider having them, you know, consistent here for styling purposes. And as you pull things through, try not to have a single word here. Otherwise, this is all good. Let's check the functionality. Okay, this probably, okay. That just needs to load quicker, right? All right. I feel like these should click to something. Otherwise, they're taking up a lot of space. Perhaps maybe you plan to do that. Otherwise, I would just have them sort of along here, spaced out, probably reduced, just you know, print or illustration instead of quite so many, or just graphic design, social, you know, media. Probably taking that out could still be graphic design and, you know, just branding, strategy. But instead of having a long scroll, I think you know what I mean. And okay, yeah, and you want to get into these quicker. I suspect you just ran out of time. So I'm real sure you know how to do that. Yeah, so that image needs to be optimized for sure. And let's see. Okay. All right, good. Like the picture. Okay. You might want to rework that. Think about how you feel about that. And align these. All right? Okay. All right. Nice work. Feels great. All right, everybody. Let's make sure you implement all of the feedback that you've gotten and anything that you have observed as you were working through it and the goals that you have. And I look forward to seeing these again. All right. Good job.